Good morning. I would like to call the Highway and Waterways Committee meeting of Thursday, June 20th, 2024 to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Dennell? Present. Mr. Featherling? Present. Mr. Snipes? Mr. Miller? Present. Mr. Kirkstra? Present. Mr. Smith? Present. Mr. Ashcraft? Ms. Ribbon-Agemi? Present. Ms. Turner? Present. Mr. Wheeler? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? We have a quorum.
Thank you. I have a few public comments here. I'm going to start calling the first one here. And if you can please, after I called your name, if you can go to the back for the public comment. First one is Donna Pamir. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I'm here to oppose the boat ramp, the public boat ramp on Laurel Road, because there's a lot of children that are out there and there'll be a lot more traffic. We know it's going to raise our taxes even more. We're worried about like all of the excess of the parking and that. Where are people going to park? Is there going to be enough parking for the people that are going to bring their boats there to put in? Is it going to be for big boats, or is it going to be for like canoes and kayaks? Because that part of the river is very, very shallow, so I don't know, how people would even put their boats in. But we are all worried about the neighborhood being so much more traffic in the neighborhood. And really about the taxes. My taxes are already almost $6,000 a year, so I know that would raise taxes out there. That's pretty much what I have to say right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Gigi Howard.
Good morning. Is this good?
It is
yes. My name is Gigi Howard. I just moved in November to 257 South Laurel. Lovely, quiet neighborhood, which is why I wanted to retire there. Now, when I find out about the boat launch, that's going to bring a large quantity of people coming to our dead-end street. I've just noticed a very brief time there, the road isn't really maintained that well. They just finally dumped some stone and didn't turn the corner for the rest of us neighbors that are around the corner of the dead end. But the point about the boat launch is I'm concerned about like safety issues of so much public coming over there. Are they making a parking lot? If they are, that's going to impact wildlife as far as heat, quality of life for the wildlife in the area. As far as, is that going to impact the river, the flooding? And oh yes, I'm very concerned about the taxes. Now you're going to raise our taxes because you're going to build a public launch that we already have our own launch, a private one for our area. We don't need it in our area. I also was wondering, do you have, was there another location somebody mentioned that was being debated, or is it just ours? Anyway, one other thing I want to say. So emergency access, that's a concern about coming in and out of that area. That's a really tight turn coming in from 17 to Sandbar to our road, then coming around the Laurel. So that's going to be a lot more people coming there with boats and trailers and what have you. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next will be Alexandra Hay.
Good morning. I'm also a resident on Laurel Road. I'm in an interesting position because I'm also a business owner right in the same subdivision. And so one might say that the increased traffic would support my business, but as a resident of the neighborhood, I'm wholeheartedly opposed to this, and as a business owner as well in our particular neighborhood. We all moved there because it was quiet. We're on a dead-end street. Our concerns are a plethora of them, which we'll discover at some point who we need to communicate those to. But how are these types of decisions made is a big question. Was there some sort of public notice when you're coming to disrupt an entire community with some sort of public access? Does there have to be a public notice? Do we have a voice in it? What about zoning? People mentioned other things, so I'm not going to be redundant on them, but you take a look at just north of Route 17 where people have been accessing their boats. Reed's Rental drops off their canoes and whatnot. And residents have started to put up no trespassing signs on their personal properties that do access because of all of the trash that's been left, all the destruction that's been done to their property. We're concerned about our neighborhood. There's simply not enough parking. People are going to be doing 3-point turns in my driveway. They're going to be parking on the berms of everybody's yards. We have children in our neighborhood. We have pets in our neighborhood. Who's going to monitor it to keep it clean? They don't come out and cut the common grass as it is. So who's going to come and take care of all the trash that might be there? We were just really caught unawares. We saw an engineering firm out there the other day doing some measurements and started asking some questions, which brought us here. A big question is how it's going to affect flooding. You know, right now there are 2 homes on either side, brand new residents just moved in within the last few months. And now they're going to have everything disrupted. Is it going to change the flow of water when we get water coming for flooding? Again, we're curious about the zoning for this. The whole process, we would like to see some transparency, the entire process about how this takes place and where we are able to have a voice. Would there be a study that would show what would happen to our taxes? Would there be a study that would show what would happen to flooding? And would there be information about who would supervise or police the area for disorderly conduct or, you know, public intoxication or other issues that may be affecting our neighborhood? We are just very opposed to it and would like to get more information and know how we can have a voice.
Thank you. I believe next is John. Could state your full name, please.
Good morning. My name is John Witkowski. I really don't have too much to add to these ladies, what they already said. I think they say plenty, so I'm in complete agreement with them, so that's all I have to add to it.
Thank you. Excuse me if I mispronounced your name here. I believe it's Don or Don? Don. Okay, thank you.
Morning. My name is Don Lindeman. I'm a resident of the community and live on in a log home on Laurel Road. And well, 27 years ago, I moved into that area because it's a quiet residential area. There's only 2 streets for the whole subdivision, maybe 35 or so homes. And yeah, I'm concerned about the things Alex said. She summarized it very well, especially the peace and quiet and the traffic, the extra traffic in the neighborhood. I'm hoping the county would consider a different location for a boat launch. A nice paved boat launch in the area would be nice, but if you could consider something away from a residential, quiet residential neighborhood like that, I think it would be better. And I hope you will consider a different location for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comments? No? Thank you. I need a motion on the second to for approval of the minutes from May the 23rd, 2024. Mr. Smith, second by Ms. Dano. Everybody in favor signify by say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Moving on will be the Waterways, Aroma Park sentiment, progress update. I believe that today here we have AJ with us.
Yes, sir.
AJ, you got the floor.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. We are on track to bid this project, as was mentioned in a previous meeting. The bidding will be due in August 13, 2024. So we're on track still for receiving bids on that date. We've identified some potential contractors who may be interested in this work. One item we did want to discuss today is upon our final review of this project and getting it out to bid, we would like to propose a slight change to something on the design drawings. You may recall that a log vane was proposed near the boat ramp, and we feel that it'd probably be in the best interest of the county to delete that from the project. We feel that there are likely some maintenance concerns associated with that, and effectiveness of that is really in question as well. So it's a small change, it's a small component of the project, but we feel that it's probably in the best interest to just remove that item from the project, either leave the sandbar as it is, or potentially you could add some plantings to stabilize that a little bit, but don't expect that to have a huge effect on the performance of the project. But again, just thinking about long-term maintenance for the county, we'd recommend deleting that small portion of the project.
Mr.
Thank you. AJ, do you remember exactly, well, not exactly, but around how much that part of the project was costing, the log vein?
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me, Mr. Wheeler. I can follow up with you on that. It is a small percentage of the project, but I can get you a more definitive answer following the meeting.
And if the committee may remember, we're capped at $1 million on the project, and so we're only limited by the amount of sand we can mitigate out of this area, sediment, because it may be some silt there too, but the we're only limited by the amount of money we have. So if we have more money, I guess, AJ, is it enough to go upstream a little bit towards the pier? Because we all know when water slows, that's when sediment drops. So if we're able to give it more of a head start getting through the area, will that help, or is it so minimal that the cost savings that it will just not, we're better off not spending the full amount of the grant, I guess, is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. I think probably the latter there, Mr. Wheeler. I don't think the cost savings is going to be all that significant based on the minor feature that we propose deleting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for AJ?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate, we're still on track to meet the bidding schedule as previously proposed. Just a minor change in the specifications.
Okay. Mr. Featherland?
Yes. AJ, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
How does I'm trying to figure out how to put this. The cost of this project, if you take the vein out of there, weren't we planning on doing some maintenance off that type of vein where the sand would collect behind or on the downside of it, and you'd be able to get it out with an excavator and just get rid of it, or you wouldn't have to go through a big hassle to get rid of the sand? Is that what the purpose was?
So the purpose of the log vein was to somewhat try to stabilize that sandbar on the upstream side of the boat ramp. But when we looked at this in a little more detail, being a dynamic riverine system, being the Kankakee River with sand sediments associated with it, that practice may not be fully effective in this application. And I think that if we did try to install something of that nature, that it probably wouldn't hold up over time. So I think that the best path forward is to omit that. And again, there could be some plantings, very simple solution that would be effective. But just a recognition that there is going to have to be maintenance over time with respect to sediment accumulation and buildup in this dynamic riverine system.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, you got a guess on an amount of time you're looking at here? You know,
in terms of the
a month or 2 weeks or
duration?
3 weeks, or you don't have, nobody's going to hold you to it. Just kind of get an idea how long you think it's going to take.
Can I clarify? Is that the construction duration you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. We expect that to take around 60 to 90 days.
Wow. Okay. I think it could take that long. Okay.
For the contractor to get mobilized to the project site, to get the work done, and then demobilize.
That would be from when you receive the bid and you award the bid till when he's done?
once the notice to proceed is issued, so we'll receive the bids on August 13th, and then shortly thereafter, we should be able to issue a notice to proceed, and then that'll start the clock.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? No? Thank you, AJ.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
All right, so moving on. Gonna go to the highway here. We don't have any bidding or letting, so I'm gonna go directly to the county engineer pay estimates. I need a motion to combine, to approve. Okay, Mr. Fadlin, second. Mr. Miller. Go ahead, sir.
All right, first off, Kankakee County, section 24,
You don't have to read the whole thing.
Kankakee County, for estimate 2 for contact, new culverts in the amount of $3,744. Kankakee County, pay estimate 1 to Grasso Construction for seal coating on our roads from the county MFT fund, $180,596.24. Kankakee County, this is a bridge section 23-00307, that's Briar. Invoice for design engineering to Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick, in the amount of $1,195 from the county MFT fund. Kankakee County, pay estimate 1 to Kankakee Valley Construction Company for hot mix patch. County Motor Fuel Tax Fund, the amount of $1,383. Kankakee County, section 08-00286-00-FP, pay estimate 1 to Santa Cruz Land Acquisitions. They're doing our negotiating on County Highway 9 in Manteno, and the amount of $60,268.25 from our RBI fund. Kankakee County, section 08-00286-00-FP, pay estimate 2 for various locations on County 9 for acquiring the right-of-way needed to build the project, in the amount of $146,200 from our Rebuild Illinois fund. Kankakee County, pay estimate 7 to Vulcan Construction Materials, in the amount of $1,328.41 from the county MFT fund for stone we use on our highways. Pembroke Township, section 24-11000-06-GM, pay estimate 1 to Bauer Transport for aggregate surface for their township roads, in the amount of $55,237.47 from their township MFT fund. Kankakee Essex Township, pay estimate 1 to Grasso Construction for seal coating township roads, in the amount of $69,823.71 from the township MFT fund. Kankakee Limestone Township, pay estimate 1 to Grasso Construction for seal coating township roads, in the amount of $62,765.08 from their township MFT fund. And Kankakee Norton Township, pay estimate 1 to Grasso Construction, in the amount of $180,632.42 from the township MFT fund, again to seal coat their township roads.
Okay. Any comments, any questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. I need a roll call to approve the county engineer pay estimates.
Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Dennell?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling?
Aye.
Mr. Snipes? Mr. Miller? Mr. Kirkstra? Mr. Smith? Ms. Rittman-McKinney? Ms. Turner? Mr. Wheeler? Motion carries.
Thank you. There's no resolution, so is there any old business? Any old business? Any new business? Mr. Snipes?
Just for a point of clarification, after hearing the public comments, anytime that you're about to launch any or do any type of work out in any area of this particular county, especially unincorporated areas, they do have to go through what through our the process of getting permits and things of that particular nature, which incumbents letters being sent to individuals and stuff into the community. Is that correct?
So you're asking for a form of permit?
No, what I'm saying is generally in a process when individuals are going to build or do anything into a subdivision or any area, they would have to get permits, and then when they get certain permits, it's going to affect a neighborhood in that permit process. Isn't there, they have to send like notice and things to the, public notice to the individuals, and then they also have an opportunity to weigh in throughout the planning and zoning process or whatever it is that we basically have that address those petitions, that will allow them to have public comment before anything is being done in their area?
I think to answer your question, I'm assuming that is that the code enforcement area that needs to answer that question by any chance? Drummer Wheeler, is that going to be a code enforcement to answer that question? I personally do not know to answer that question to you right now at this moment, so it will be one of the other departments that will actually to look into that and work with that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So we have, I know that no matter what, when I go to put up a fence out on my property, I have to go through the city code department, and generally you obtain a permit. If I'm about to do something in a general area and they get a special variance or whatever, that notice and stuff is sent out to the property owners and things of that nature. So there are processes there's a process and a procedure when individuals are going to put something in someone's area that they will have the opportunity to weigh in, and that's the only objective, because I want to make sure that whatever we do, they have the opportunity to weigh in, and we hear from the community. I think we've done that oftentimes in the past, and I'm just only making that as a point of clarification so that they know that no one just walks into the area. They will get permits. They will have opportunity to weigh in, to speak, and give voice to whatever project that may come in their particular area. So appreciate it back, and if they do, then we'll get their emails or whatever, and then send that information to them.
Okay. All right. Any other business?
I have some.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
This falls under the category of good news all around. Item 1, our County Highway 17 bridge that's been closed for quite a while now. It went to bid opening last Friday, the state bid opening, and the engineer's estimate for the work was $982,000. We received a low bid of $910,000, so we came in under estimate. So we'll be executing, awarding that, and getting that thing built hopefully before harvest season. I think we can do it, barring any complications. Good news item number 2, river equipment for maintaining the river. We're training 4 people today on use of the aerial crane, which we can use to cut down trees along the riverbank. The owner of the crane will be delivering that to us tomorrow. So we'll be protecting that in our garage, putting a velvet rope around it, because it's a pretty expensive piece of equipment. And so we'll have that, and we'll be able to, once we get it all prettied up and how we want it to look, we'll have it available to start putting the work out on the river. And last item of good news, County Highway 37, which is the Sugar Island Bridge over the Iroquois River. We applied for special bridge program funding last October, And of course, you forget all about it. Well, IDOT came out with their proposed five-year program just last week. And lo and behold, we won amount of $3,796,000 from the state for us to be able to rehabilitate that bridge. This is just extra money that on top of the money they already provide us. So that's pretty good news. That's all I have.
It's always nice to have good news. Ms. Foster? I believe 12. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning. I just wanted to thank the Highway Department. As you come down 17 East to turn into Pembroke, to go to Pembroke, they put some gravel. We got a couple of holes there. But I was wondering, are you all going to do some patching? Because that gravel is not going to hold up. We get a lot of truck traffic when you turn off there.
I could put it on our list. I could talk to you after the meeting and get the exact location.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion and a second. Okay, Mr. Fedlin, second by. Okay, Ms. Turner. Everybody in favor signify by say aye. Anybody opposed? Same sign.